What's up, everybody? Welcome to Liberate Your Money, episode 33. It is December 27th, 2 days after Christmas. We've got yet another Bitcoin all-time high set. I went to bed last night and Bitcoin was at like 27,000, and I woke up this morning and it was at 28,000. I mean, it's just been going up by like 1,000 every day since Christmas. Last video I did, we were above 20K. We had just breached all-time high. We were at like 21,000. So we're actually up like another 5 grand, 6 grand since then. So that's like, another 20% up from the last video I did, which was like a week ago. So yeah, Bitcoin has been moving fast. It is in price discovery right now. We've been anticipating this, been talking about it for a while now. This is episode 33. It gets more surreal by the day. I'm waking up to new all-time highs, but like, we were expecting this, and now we're actually getting to reap the rewards of a 2.5 year long bear market. This is the log. I turned the log chart off, and what that does is it kind of, it has to do with the scaling. But if you look at the log chart, or if you turn the log chart off, this is the previous all-time high back here. It really just like makes you realize like how fast and how parabolic price gets when it starts to move. Like, we're witnessing it over here. Sooner or later, like, this run up to the all-time high is going to look like the previous run up to the all-time high. This was the previous high right here. We came up, tested it, came back down, got above it, came back down, and then we finally broke above it, and then just went parabolic for the next year in 2017. And so like, we're like right here in the cycle, and look how small price action looks relative to the parabolic advance. And like, that's what I want a lot of people to realize. Like, this looks crazy, like price is going crazy right now, and like people are thinking that they missed it. Like, I talked to a lot of family over Christmas, and like, my dad was like, I should have bought when you were telling me to back when it was like around 10K. And it's like, yeah, I know, obviously. But like, psychologically, people just don't think, they see a $10,000 priced asset and they think like, oh, that's way too high. Like, no other asset I know of is priced that high besides like cars and houses and, shit like that. It's like, nobody wants to buy a digital coin worth $10,000, right? Theoretically. Once you understand the scarcity of the asset, and you understand the supply crunch, and you understand why it has value, and why people are starting to move a lot of their wealth into it as a digital store of value, you start to realize where we're at in ultimately the life cycle of Bitcoin, and there's a lot to learn there. I would refer you to my old my website, thecapitalb.net. My first article I wrote on there was about Bitcoin. Wrote about a bunch of other shit, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom, Bitcoin, a better form of money, I wrote this at the beginning of 2019, and I basically just kind of explain it in layman's terms. But also I get kind of advanced. I talk about proof of work, all this other stuff. So if you want to get in depth to Bitcoin, I talk a lot about the devaluation of the dollar and how that plays a big part into, the price appreciation. There's the supply crunch in Bitcoin, but then there's also the dollar tanking because our governments and our central banks can't stop printing money. Like, so this is the dollar index, and you can see that the past year it's just been tanking hard. And I actually had this 90 level marked out, and you can see that we got below it and it's acting as resistance now, which is good for asset prices, right? But it's not good if you're holding dollars, right? See, like, it got below the red line, came back up, tested it, got shot down. So it would be nice to see it get below this next red line, and that will mean prices of assets, stocks, gold, Bitcoin, are likely going to see a price appreciation just because the denominator, the US dollar, is going down. So, all things else not even considered, price of Bitcoin or other assets should go up if the dollar is going down, right? But not only do we have the dollar going down, we just got a lot of fucking demand for a digital store of value like Bitcoin. And the last video I talked about that Michael Saylor dude just buying up tons of Bitcoin. I mean, I think he's got like close to $1 billion worth of Bitcoin through his company and through him personally. Like, he's bought he started buying like from like 14Ks up to like 20 something Ks. He's been buying. Like, he was getting vocal about it when we were consolidating right below all-time highs. He was like, I'm buying it. Like, I'm taking out massive loans. I'm releasing these convertible notes so people can buy them, and then I'll give a return, and just so I can buy Bitcoin now. Like, doing everything he can to get cash so he can buy Bitcoin now. And that was at like all-time high levels. So you got to think a guy with that kind of money isn't going to throw $1 billion at an asset expecting it to go back down. Like, so, and another thing I wanted to bring up, like Bitcoin supply, right? We talk about the miners and how Bitcoin actually gets put into the circulation of the supply, right? Like, so we have people running the Bitcoin nodes on their computers, and they're confirming transactions, and the rewards they get are the newly minted Bitcoin. They get rewarded Bitcoin for completing transactions. So the supply schedule of Bitcoin, the amount of Bitcoins that miners gets cut in half every 4 years, and we call that the halving. We've talked about this before. We just had the halving in May, and the amount of Bitcoins that get put into circulation each day is 900 Bitcoins, okay? Now let's do some math here. 900 Bitcoins times, what's the current price? Let's just say 26,000. That's $23,400,000. That's how much money it would take to buy up all of the Bitcoin for that day that get put into the system. Now, you can't tell me that the Michael Saylors and the Paul Tudor Jones, they're putting $1 billion out. Like, they're the ones that are buying up in all this Bitcoin at these prices because they realize the supply crunch. Look at that. All it takes is $23 million to buy up all the Bitcoin for that day. Like, the more people that get involved, the more guys with, like we talked about before, just buku amounts of dollars, millionaires, billionaires, once they start throwing a little bit of their money at it, like, that's why we're seeing these price appreciations. Like, it doesn't take much to move the price of a severely scarce asset like Bitcoin, and that's kind of what I want to get through to you guys. Like, this isn't just a $26,000 asset. Like, it's not like an overpriced asset. This is an extremely scarce asset that there's only 900 new ones put into the system every single day. All it takes is 25 million, and boom, those are gone. And now all of a sudden you got people fighting over, people that are willing to sell you their Bitcoin at a given price. Well, not a lot of people are willing to sell their Bitcoin at 26,000, and we're seeing that right now. Like, we're in price discovery. People are like anticipating another bull run like this, so why would they sell it right after we breached the all-time highs? Look what happened after we breached the all-time highs last time. Let's go to the log chart just so we can see. So, like, this was previous all-time high. Okay, how high did price go after that. Let's take a peek. Price range. I believe that was all-time high. Boom to that. It rose another 3,800%. 3,800%. Okay, let's just see where that would put us if we rose another 3,800%. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be lower than that, but with the demand, and you just don't know. Like, the more money that gets put into the system, the more eyeballs that are on it, the more it gets talked about on CBN, NBC, you know, all the major networks. More people are talking about it. You got more legit, established people, investors, hedge funds getting involved. It's becoming a new asset class that everybody can invest in, and it's still so early. So, okay, let's take a look and see where price would take us if we rose another 3,800% from the all-time high. If it went 3,800%, that would put Bitcoin at 770,000 per coin. Like, that's stupid. Like the market cap would be trillions. Bitcoin actually just passed like 400 billion or 500 billion market cap, which is the highest it's ever been. Like, I don't even know what that would be. Like 770 per coin times, you know, 20 million coins. Like, holy shit. Like, you know, I don't think that's gonna happen, you know, 3,800%, but like, that's just to put it in perspective. Like, that's the amount of, that's how high it rose after we breached the all-time high. Like, that was the old all-time high, then we went up 3,800%. Like, it feels like we've been going up for such a long time, but really since March, you know, we've basically just been going up. But like, once we breached all-time high the previous time, since August of 16 all the way up to December of 2017. Look at that. It's like a whole year. Look, we had pullbacks. We had major pullbacks, 30% pullbacks, but like, in the grand scheme of things, it bounced hard and we just kept making new all-time highs. And I think that's what we're going to see here. Like, this thing may get to 50K before we see a major pullback, you know? It's like, a lot of people are waiting for that big major pullback, and I just think that like, demand is getting to that point where there's just not enough Bitcoins. Like, I don't think we're gonna see these major pullbacks unless we get like a 5 to 10,000 pump in a day. You know, we're seeing like $1,000 increments in a day, which sounds like a lot, but like, the higher the price of Bitcoin is, $1,000 increase in a day actually isn't like a lot in the grand scheme of things, because the price is that much more. So like, it's, until we get one of those like $5,000 to $10,000 days, like, I don't think we're gonna get that deep pullback, you know? Like, and look, we're due for one. You know, it might pull back right after I close this video, but it's just like, the demand and the supply and everything is just, it's, the demand is a lot higher, the supply is a lot lower. Like, I need you guys to understand that. I need you guys to understand that a lot of the price appreciation happens after we breach the all-time high. So people that think that they're getting in late right now, it's just not true. You know, we could see, even if we see half of this, if we see, what's half of 38, 1900% increase, you know, that'd put us at like 400,000 per coin. Like, I personally think we're gonna see 100,000 Bitcoin before the end of 2021. You know, I could be wrong. I could be overshooting that. I could be understating that. But like, I just think the demand of big time players, and it's going to become easier to access, and I think it's just gonna keep going up, guys. So what am I doing? Like, I'm just buying a little bit of Bitcoin every time I get paid. Like, I don't look at the price as much anymore now that we're in price discovery, because I just don't know where it's going to go. Like, we have no more support or resistance levels to breach. Like, it's just going to go where it wants to go until we run out of buyers, and then we're going to get, you know, a good pullback, a deep pullback, and there's going to be a lot of people with fresh powder waiting to buy that dip, and it's going to happen fast. So you got to be ready. You got to set bids. You know, I use Coinbase Pro. If you have a Coinbase account, you can go to pro.coinbase.com, and it is a little bit more advanced trading platform where you can set limit orders. So, like, you know, if price is at 26,000 or 27,000, and I'm hoping it dips to 25K, or that's where I want to buy more, like, you can set a limit order for $25,000, or, you know, $100 worth of Bitcoin at 25,000, and it'll, if price dips down to that level, it'll automatically buy it for you, which is a more effective way than just buying it through like the Coinbase app, because I don't think you can set those limit orders. You basically just have to market buy it, like right there on the spot at whatever price it's at, which isn't as efficient. You can't get a better price that way unless you happen to be looking at it, you know, during the dip, at the bottom of the dip. But like, limit orders are a better way of getting a better price on your investment. So I highly encourage a Coinbase account, plus pro.coinbase, and then you go there and set your limit orders. Cash App is another great way to buy Bitcoin. I actually didn't know that you could buy stocks through Cash App, which is pretty cool. I think I'm gonna set up a Cash App account and just see how it goes. Buy some Bitcoin, see what the user experience is like. I've heard great things about Cash App. I think their fees are relative to like you know, Coinbase. So yeah, those would be my two places I would recommend people sign up. I know there is ways you can get exposure to Bitcoin through your retirement accounts. There are ways you can do it. GBTC I believe is the investable option for Bitcoin, which is like a derivative of Bitcoin that moves with the price of Bitcoin. So yeah, like, for everyone that's trying to get exposure, I know a lot of people have been hitting me up. Coinbase, Cash App, sign up for them, buy a little bit of it, and then just like just watch how it goes. Like, you know, don't put half your net worth into it. You know, talk to your financial advisor about it, but like, you got to get off zero. Like, the bull market is here. Like, we're in price discovery. If you're waiting for that pullback, I just don't know when it's going to happen. You know, I think a 30% pullback is going to happen eventually, or like 20 to 25%, but like, you know, the higher we go, the lower that dip is going to be. Like, so you got to wonder, you might as well just get your exposure as soon as you can. And then wait for dips to buy more, or just do what I do, and, you know, every month buy a little bit with one of your paychecks, and just watch your net worth grow as the Bitcoin bull market rages on. So what else did I want to talk about? CoinGecko.com is a great place to look at assets. It just shows you the top coins by market cap. You can scroll down and see which altcoins are doing well, what they're all about. If you click on them, it'll tell you where you can buy and sell them. If you click on markets, it'll tell you all the exchanges that you can buy it, all the places you can buy it. It'll have the website for it, so you can go to bitcoin.org, and then you can find out more about Bitcoin. You can choose a wallet, a Bitcoin wallet. There's different Bitcoin wallet options you can choose from. To learn more about it, look at the white paper. So it's just a great place to start in learning about other cryptocurrencies. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got, guys. I'm still buying Bitcoin where the bull market rages on. If you guys got questions, please hit me up. DMs are always open. Hit me up in the comments. Bull market's here, 27,000. All-time high right now sits at like 28.5. Woo! We made it, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace out.
Tell your truth and tell